What is going on, guys? It's Ryan here coming to you with another Dent Digest live show. I've got a little special guest over here, Matt from Get a Grip. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, Ryan? Appreciate you having me on the show.
Hey, it's what we're doing, trying to get awareness of some good products out there, some good dent guys, and some good stories. So, I couldn't pass it up on a product that I use almost every day. So
Nice.
I want to do a little recap on last week's show. Some of you guys that saw it, I was live from the beach, and I had a real live customer on there kind of going about how they figured out about paintless dent repair, how they went through the repair process, how the process went. It was actually one of my customers, so it went perfect. So, but it was a good quick show. We only did it for about 25, 30 minutes. A lot of questions, a lot of good information in there. If you guys missed it, go back to the show and just dive in. I've also got a pretty cool guest next week too, kind of a local tech coming on. He's coming up to me, so we're going to do it together. Should be pretty exciting. We both are passionate about paintless dent repair and the tool end of it. So I got a new tool in the mail, and I'm super excited tomorrow to use this thing. It's the new Dent Reaper rods. So these things, stainless steel. He's got 3 different sizes. I don't know if you see them up here on the wall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Different.
Those look like a real Reaper tool.
What? He showed me this. He had his little prototypes, and he's been working on them for some time. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's probably going to be really useful because you could use both sides of the tool. The other thing I liked, and I spoke to him today when I received them, and I said, one thing I really like about these is a lot of times when you have these tube handles, you get the hole in here. You can kind of push, and it always breaks through. This has a cap on the end, and then they dipped it.
Gotcha.
So it's a hard end. It's little things like that bug the crap out of me. So these things look super cool. He's doing a big promotion this week, or the pre-order really. You get those 3 discounted price, and then this Dent Reaper hat. So go to dentreaper.com. I'm going to do a live feed tomorrow when I'm using them on a vehicle to see how they work out. Are they great or are they not great? I don't know. So we're going to find out.
Who's manufacturing his tools again?
A1. A1 is doing it. They do all of his Reaper rods. All his Reaper regular door tools.
Mm-hmm.
And I teamed that up with the John Hiley handle, and it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That's kind of what I was kind of thinking too. John Hiley Gorilla Grip, or Ultra Dent tools, ratcheting handles.
Yeah, Mike did that conversion. It seemed like a pretty good idea too. I don't have any Ultra tools, so you guys are lucky because you're close. Me, it's a process. So, and I definitely couldn't take everything and send it to them and wait.
Right. Most of all my daily driver tools, I've taken the handles off them.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, every time I go to Mike's shop, I'm like, yeah. So years ago, I cut them off. Ultra carries my tools, so I go up there every month or 2 and drop off a shipment of tools to them. So anytime I'm there, I'm like, I want this tool. I'm going to put a ratcheting handle on this one. I'm always having stuff done. Something to keep in mind though about Ultra, someone like you could also just buy their little hectagon or octagon, tops, and have someone weld them on for you. And
so
like $10.
I have a local tech, a friend of mine, Dave Johnson, and he did that. So he bought a couple octagons, had a guy weld them on, and then he sent a bunch to Ultra. And whoever welds tools at Ultra is sick. He is awesome. Yeah. So he was like, don't even waste your time. You're not going to be happy, because he knows I'm particular. He's like, just send them out there if you're going to do it. So the other handle I'm actually really kind of enjoying is the Viper Skin. Yeah. The PDR Tool Time guys handle. That thing's sick too for the price point for what you're getting with them being billet aluminum. I saw them at Ants and I was like, how are you even making any money? You know,
Right? Yeah, I've seen those.
it's
Yeah, over at Mike's shop, I've held one, and those are really nice. There's a those are a good alternative to the
A1
A1,
handle.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're correct. I don't know how they're making any money with those.
Yeah.
They're great. Yeah, Viper skins.
So let's get into you. Let's get into Matt's story here on how he started Paintless Dent Repair, where he is now with his company, and how Get a Grip got started. So let's start from day one. How did you get involved into the paintless dent repair world?
Well, first of all, I'm like most of us. I've had some difficult jobs, really, taxing jobs, physically tiring jobs, dirty jobs. I was a plumber for a couple of years, which isn't what you might think. Going installing clean pipes wasn't how you start off.
Yeah.
A lot of dirty work, man. I've always been a hard worker. Just something I've always had in me. If I was going to spend the time to do something, I always spent the time to do it right. Like otherwise, why do it? And so I've always taken pride in my work. And so through a friend, when I was let's say about 22, 23, through a mutual friend, I rented a room from a gentleman that was doing dents. And I think he was actually a Dent Pro technician,
Okay.
already into his own business. He just was in the transition of starting his own independent business. And I roommate with him, and I lived there for about a year. And he saw my work ethics, and thought, wow, I really need another guy. I was his first guy that he brought on with his company, and he's a really nice guy. He problem with the gentleman that he wasn't the best teacher, and I could vouch. I've taught a few people, and it's not an easy thing. There's definitely a skill set. There's a lot of experience going into teaching someone proper and efficiently,
Of
and so
course.
he was new to it, Ryan. So he would have me work on his car. I would ride along with him, and then we'd stop somewhere, either at a wholesale account or a house call, and he'd put a dent in his own truck, which isn't the ideal situation, in the fact that me personally, I don't want to damage the vehicle. It's his car. You're kind of not, you're learning, but you're also not pressing the boundaries as much as you might want to. So I did that. That was tough. I did that for about a good solid 6 months, 5 days a week for 6 months. I rode along with him, and he did pay me.
That's cool.
And just really slow at making progress. He wasn't the most hands-on kind of guy, but all said and done, took about a year, Ryan, a year every day. So for you techs out there, we didn't have, this is an 04, end of 04, 05, era. This wasn't, there wasn't YouTube, videos, or wasn't, Facebook and all these different social media outlets that you could learn and experience, other technicians and how their techniques are, and all these different tools. And there wasn't seminars to go to. So it was a lot more work to get where I needed to get. So it took about a year to the day that I knew I was going to make it, because still wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've got two of my new guys in here right now watching, and James is almost 2 years in, and he had some really bad experience with some bad training in the beginning, and and then I have Shane. He's been with me for a year, but he really hasn't been training until about 6 months. So he's going through that whole struggle right now. He's feeling the repercussions of sitting back saying, I don't know if I'm going to get this. And you just sit back. You're like, you're going to get it. You're going to get it.
yeah. So, also a big factor for all you technicians that are thinking about, people ask me, you do body shops, you always have somebody in the body shop. It's like, hey, hey, I'm thinking about doing that. I'm going to buy a bunch of tools, or I'm going to go to some training facility. And I tell them, look, the tools isn't what's going to make you take dents out at first. One tool. Buy one tool if you have to. If you don't even want to buy a tool, let's get a long screwdriver, get a beat up, body shop door, drill a hole in the side of it. You're training your eye.
Yeah.
It's not the tool. The tools come later. Those, when you actually understand where your tip is and what you're doing, the tools do make a huge difference. But right now, don't go buy a whole, fleet of tools. So for me, if I was I tell these guys this, I go, look, don't buy any tools. If you're only going to buy one tool, What's the most important tool you use on every single job, Ryan? Every single job uses one tool every time.
Board.
Your board. And back then I had a piece of plexi board.
So did I.
Spray can line.
Yeah.
It was just hideous. I don't work in indoors. I mean, terrible. So that was a huge factor. So I can't blame all just lack of training, but just not having the right equipment. And that's all we had. There wasn't LED boards, and they did have, fluorescent, but I didn't have it as a mobile guy.
And they would fall off the car, and then the bulbs would break, or the screen. Oh my, it was terrible. It was terrible. I keep telling guys all the time, the like body guys will walk up, they're like, oh my gosh, look at this for LED board. And I'm like, yeah. So I started with a piece of plexiglass with a spray painted line down the center.
Yep.
We got the Eliminate boards, and it was like HD television. You're like, oh my gosh, look what I was missing.
Yeah. So a lot of that, I think a lot of the training today, just having the right board, having a board, whatever you're used to, fog or lines, but that's going to benefit anybody that's learning PDR today, greatly. That's just your eyes. You can't fix what you can't see. So I did that for a year, and then I started doing more, on my own. What he was really good at educating me with, and this is something I look back and even talking to other technicians at shows or just in conversation, is that he taught me retail work. I did one retail every day, even as a year, doing dents. I always went out and made a house call, and to me that seems like second nature. And there's these technicians you'll talk to that have been doing it longer than us, 15, 20, 25 years, and they're like, I don't know how to get into retail. I'm like, I don't know how not to get into retail.
Exactly. So, like I saw a tech today, and he's like, all I want to do is enterprise cars, and I was like, what? He's like, you don't do many dealers? I'm like, no, I mainly do body shops and retail. And he's like, I don't know how you do that. And I'm like, man, I like making a couple dollars.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier today. A big thing about wholesale work, it's great. It's consistent. If you have the right accounts, you got people that are halfway decent, they appreciate your work, but a lot of them don't. It's, what can you do for me lately? How much money can you save us? They don't look at it the right way. They don't look at it as us being an asset to them. We're saving them a ton of money. They don't see it that way. So with retail, majority of them, almost all of them, customer that calls you, they really appreciate what you're doing. They really value, most of my customers, I enjoy them watching me. Some technicians don't. I don't mind. Yeah. I enjoy going through the process. I enjoy doing what I do. So to me, it's no problem, because at the end of the day, those people that call me, they want their car fixed, so they appreciate, most of them, they'll go, how are you going to do this? What's the process? So I go walking through the whole thing, what I'm doing. This is my roadmap, my line board here. This tells me where, the high spots are, low spots, where my tool is, how much pressure I'm pushing, and they really are fascinated. At the end, they look at me and they go, wow, that's impressive. I didn't imagine that, I thought you could do this and that, the story.
Education is key with them, and they'll always remember that.
Oh yeah. And they're like, man, you're an artist, and so this feels good. Like when you do a wholesale account, not all of them, but majority of them don't really value that. You don't see the value. It's more of a business to them. There's other things going on. So with wholesale or, retail, man, if I could just do retail every day, all day, that would be the way to go.
And I've really enjoyed, I rent space at a shop, but I also do a ton of mobile. And I really enjoy driving up to someone's house, doing a service, them coming out, hey, do you want a bottle of water? Would you like a cracker or snack or whatever, hot tea? I love that. You're somewhere different every day. It's really nice. Some days when I'll load my Fridays up with retail, and we'll hit 5 or 6 places, and we're like, man, this is really nice. You're no pressure. You're just kind of chilling out.
Mm-hmm. And it goes both ways too, because you also hear their story. I did a gentleman just last week. He was he was a Navy SEAL, team SEAL, not Team 6, but he was a retired Navy SEAL, and interesting story. Just hearing his background and all of his experiences. It makes time goes by too. I'm doing this bad dent, and he's talking away. And just, next thing you know, 3 hours goes by. So it's I enjoy doing house calls. So you
You worked for him for a little while.
for about
You were
4 to 5 years. And
okay.
in that time, he started hiring more employees. So I was his first guy. Then he started hiring more guys, and which was fine. We had plenty of work. It's just that the guys he started hiring didn't have the same passion I had. So I'm doing these, advanced dents, complex dents, and these guys are, disco balling small dime-sized dents. FSL counts mostly, but and the thing about the gentleman that was running it, real smooth talker, easy, likable person. So he'd go into the account, smooth things out. We're not going to send him in there anymore, and then tell me like, yeah, you start doing that account, then I'd leave out, go on vacation or something like that. I'd have one of those guys take care of my account. I come back and I'm like, oh my God. I would call him up. I go, dude, where are you at? Come over here right now and look at this. This is, unbelievable. I go, and he would say, well, the guy that would actually do the repair, go, oh, it was, it was thrashed. It was,
Yeah.
destroyed. But I'd go like this. This is what I would say, Ryan. I go, okay, you're right. I don't know what it looked like before, but I know this. Look at it right now, and you tell me you would leave it like this. I don't know what it was like before, but right now it's a mountain. There's no chance that I would ever walk away, even if it was stretch and this and that. Dude, there's no way. I could spend 5 minutes and make it look 50% better right now just by just tapping it, not even pushing. So the lack of care wasn't there. It was obvious, and all the guy cared about is these guys were making money. So at the end of the day, having 30 plus conversations about it, I say, look, at the end of the day, it's not in the cards. I've come to realize that you don't care as much as I do, period. That was it. And you know how this is. Any technician that's listening right now and watching, this isn't something where the attention to detail is not important. This is all, this is 100%. The car isn't driving any different. It's still going to get to point, A to B. The dents don't affect the car. So, yeah.
I don't know. I have some customers that say they can't drive their car because it's got a door ding in it. So I do get that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I got that customer that lost sleep the night before.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep last night. Yeah, yeah. But aerodynamics, I guess, the wind's not, going over the surface of the metal is as it was engineered to. Your gas mileage is dropping.
It's like I'm embarrassed. I'm like,
so that was a big turning point in my career. In my decision. That was a big one. So I essentially, I go here. He provided me a car, so I go, here's your car. Here's all your tools, and and I'm gonna start over from ground zero. I had the confidence and understanding that, hey, I know I'm good. It's gonna take some work to get back up on my feet. But I'm going to knock at every door. I'm going to stop into every person that, may need a car fix, a body shop, mechanics, detailers, you name it. Window tinting shops, dealerships.
oh yeah.
Dude, it's just the more you can throw out there, something's going to stick. And so that's a big thing to learn for anyone that's looking for work. If you got the drive and passion, don't let your doubt. There's so many times, you know how this goes. You stop into a body shop.
I got a guy.
Say hi, right? If you have time, you stop into a body shop, Ryan. And they're like, oh, hey, we're going to call you. Oh, hey, we got a car for you to look at. And you're like, well, were you going to call me? So when you go and you're soliciting work, it's very important not to get the head trash, as, Keith would say, Cosentino. Don't let the head trash get in there, because you don't know. You go into that place and they're like, oh, dude, you fix dents, you're the perfect guy, come back here and look at this car. And next thing you know, you're like, yeah, our dent guy, he's not calling us back, or he's not in town, or, he said he can't fix this. So, and then other times too, where they have a dent guy, and they're like, oh yeah, we're happy. Well, guess what? You go in 2 days later, things change. Every day, life changes. So for technicians out there, don't ever quit. You have to be the person that you want to be,
Grind it out.
Got to grind it out. So I grinded it out, and I started picking up accounts, started picking up body shops, and did that for about 3 years. And then the PDR college came about a year and a half in. I started listening to them. That was very inspirational.
That was some great info, man. There was an episode they did with a GM from a Nissan store. That was probably one of the more, I was influenced more on that one. Just his thought on the process on how it works. And I was like, man, it was great. It was a great podcast.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So listening to them, it was a perfect timing. But then they started talking about building your business and this and that, and then hiring somebody. So then about 3 years of doing my own gig, I was getting too much, to take on by myself. So I started training a guy, and I had him same way. He rode along with me. I think about 8 months, and I'm the kind of guy. The dents are hard enough. Learning to do PDR is so hard and difficult. And it's, for someone that's watching this show, you may not think that because you look at us do these dents and we're, talking about this and that. We just make it look simple, but it's very difficult. So don't let anyone be, don't be fooled by watching and thinking, oh, well, it looks simple. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Very difficult.
You get corrected really fast as soon as you have a tool in your hand,
The very first time you put the tool in your hand, I was like, oh, well, how do you know where you're pushing? That's, welcome to PDR. So what I'm getting to, coming around to, is that when I trained my technician, I'm not the cheapskate guy. I'm buying the best tools. We're going to Ultra, we're going here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get the best whale tail, whatever tool that's going to make it easier to learn. Get you a James Lee board. I'm not cutting any corners because I want this technician to be good, and I don't want to be hindered or slowed down by lack of tools. So he's got all the tools that he needs. I'm training him. So so I have a technician with me now. He's been with me for about 4 years now. Great guy, great personality. He's very disciplined, and he does good work. He has the most important thing I want to train somebody is to have a lot of pride in their work. And you can't train pride, Ryan. I know, no matter what you're doing in your life, you have it or you don't. You can't teach someone to have pride or to do a good job and take value in your work. And so with him, that's the thing. When you're training somebody, you got to first find the right personality.
Yes.
Anyone can learn. You could teach anybody paintless dent repair if you're motivated, determined, and you have the drive. But I can't teach you to have pride.
And just the I almost feel like you kind of have the basic idea of car. There's a lot of guys. I don't think there's a lot of guys in this industry that aren't into kind of cars. You know what I mean? You don't have to be building a car or customizing a car, but you're kind of into the car.
Mm-hmm.
So,
for me, I'm not, it's funny. I'm not a real car guy,
No?
Of you. Yeah. I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong. No.
Yeah.
I appreciate cars. I take care of them, but I'm not like one of those guys. If I'm working on some kind of rare classic car or some exotic car, it's cool, but it doesn't get me fired up. I just like the passion of being an artist,
True.
So that to me is like, I love that,
I think it's almost like drugs. I did a dent on a rail today that I told him, I was like, I don't know if this thing's gonna come out. I really don't. I mean, it was a shot, blew out the edge by the back glass, fixed it. And I look at the guy and I said, it's the first time in a long time. I'm really proud of myself of this repair. You're driving home, you're like, yeah, I'm a rock star. Right? I got this.
Right.
That's the stuff you drive on. That's the stuff that gets you. Okay, I'm ready to do some damage tomorrow. So
right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you get a high for that for sure. That's but so with that being said, I'm still growing. I got to the point where I have accounts asking me to work for them. The last 3 wholesale accounts I picked up, I was brought in. I wasn't soliciting them, and so I have good accounts, and I wanted to hire another guy, and that didn't go so well. It wasn't the right click.
It's an investment. A lot of these guys don't understand. You're investing not even so much the tools. The tools isn't the big problem. It's the time that you're losing because you're slowed down because you're trying to train a guy while you're working.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to train a guy on the fly. It's not easy.
Oh yeah, the time, the energy. It takes a lot of energy out of your day. It's exhausting. Yeah, because you're breaking down all these steps. all the small stuff that you don't realize you're doing, you can break it down, you explain it to them, and then they go, well, I don't understand. And they'll throw something at you, a curveball. You're like,
Yeah.
what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's taxing on mentally. So that didn't go too well. I'll say it like this, and it's been brought upon many times on different podcasts. The guy was more money driven, you know.
Yes.
And then he kept questioning, "Do you think I'm going to make it?" He was doing great. He was doing fantastic, learning the process of taking these dents out. He's getting really good. 3 months in, he was doing what the first guy I trained, it would take 6 months, and so, but his mind wasn't there.
That's
It
it.
wasn't there. Like his focus wasn't on being a really good dent technician.
No.
He was driven by money, which is great. We're all, I mean, I love doing dents, but if you're not going to pay me, I'm not going to go out and work for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it, but your goal is to get really good at dents. Money is a second, is a product of working hard and doing a good job.
You're not going to make good money for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
A year and a half. That first year, you're struggling. You're really trying to learn. You're getting thrown the business end, the management of your accounts end, and doing the repairs. It's super difficult. It's a lot of stuff coming your way.
It's a lot. There's a lot going on. You're dealing with customers. You're dealing with management. You're dealing with the lot porters.
Yeah.
You're dealing with, keys management. You could deal with those people they don't like dealing with. They're always,
So do you
day,
do a lot of body shops, a lot of retail, a lot of dealers? What is your usual work schedule?
Man, it's probably a 70-30. 70% wholesale, 30% retail. Body shops, the last couple of years, I've actually just started slowly cutting them out. I have a couple mom and pop body shops that I take care of, but I was doing like 5 or 6 calibers in my area. Their business model isn't really set up for me, at least in my situation over here. They're on volume. So what they do is they make small margins on each customer. And if anything doesn't go completely right, there's a screw up, their margins are out the door. If the car has to be, repaired by me, or if it needs to be repainted. So those calibers, I couldn't charge more than, $90. And I was going in there saving their ass. They'd call me on a Friday at 4, hey, we're trying to deliver this car. We missed a dent, or we don't think this was here.
Yeah.
It's just, substantial crease. You got like a, I don't know, 4-inch crease through a body line of a door. You're like, all right, I can make it happen. I got an hour. Okay, let's do it. And then, we don't want to pay more than $100 or $90. Like, dude, I just left where I was at. I dropped what I was doing, come rush over for you. And time after time after time, you're just like, you know what? It's not, it's not worth my time. You guys are not. And then it's not even in their hands so much over here. It's more corporate.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't pay me. There'd be times where I have, all these invoices, and then like 5 of them, you got to go work again to get your money.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of the consolidators. It's and then what it is I've figured out to where it's where the estimator at that location is not putting the information in the computer, to where when you send them your statement, they're like, "What is this?" And then it has to go back, and they have to figure it out.
Or they send it to upstairs to the accounts payable, lady that does like that kind of stuff, and she doesn't put it in the computer, or it gets put into a pile.
Yep.
End of the day, so I don't do a whole lot of body shops, just a handful of mom and pop, boutique body shops, and then there's always those high end little like mechanic customized shops that would call me from time to time. So that's basically the history of and I've been doing it now 15 years. So
what's your future? Like, what are you are you looking to just kind of cruise where you are? Do you want to grow, or do you just you're happy where you are?
Yeah, good question, Ryan. Right now, I this experience of training somebody and spending 3 months with them and letting them go, that was a tough one. I'm still licking my wounds from that one. So I'm kind of gun shy right now on hiring somebody again, like taking that on. I'm sure I will. But right now I'm kind of still, recovering from that one. That was emotionally, because it was a friend that I known kind of not real close, but I've known him for 18, 19 years. So
Yeah.
I kind of lost a friendship out of it too. He also was, tied in. He also was a guy helping me out at Mobile Tech Expo with selling the tools.
Yeah.
So I kind of lost him as a, tool guy. Also lost him a little bit as a friend, and then I lost him as a dent technician. So it was a hit, a toll on me. So right now I'm not feeling motivated in hiring somebody. I'm just, like Shane Jackson would say, I'm just treading water,
I know the feeling, believe me.
just staying above water and just trying to juggle everything.
One thing I've learned in this business is you always have to be ready to shift in every aspects of dent repair. You're shifting in your repairs. Okay, I'm going to repair it this way. I'm going to glue this. You start gluing, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to tool this. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, I need to go to a dent dial, or I need to add heat. You're always shifting. Same thing with your daily schedule. Your daily schedule, you could be like, well, I'm right down the street from here, but I know it's a smash, but I have 2 easy ones over here. And you always are moving things around to make it work. And it's the same thing when you're hiring guys or trying to grow a business. And sometimes you need to put things on the back burner a little bit. And you're like, I really want to do this, but I just don't have the time, or I just can't invest the time in it. So, always try to plan on the shift. I tell Shane, he rides with me every day. I'm like, we're shifting it today, boy. We're just going to figure it out and it's going to go. So,
yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. You're just, you're moving and you're just adapting to, what's being thrown at you. You're like, all right, I don't know where I'm gonna have time to do that, but bring it on.
Or you go to a shop and they're like, you're there and it's okay. We've got a $200 dent. You're like, okay, I'll be in and out of there in no time. You go there and they're like, hey, can you do this one? Can you do this? Can you do that? And you're like, oh my gosh,
time for this, but all right, let's do it.
Yeah. So how did Get a Grip come about? So let's get into the good stuff here. The some of the how the company came about, how you started building some of the how many prototypes you had. How did the whole thing come about? Hitting Matt hard today.
My first tool that I designed for the company was an umbrella. Now, all these years, even with the first company I was working for, a gentleman, I always had some kind of Mickey Mouse umbrella set up with a suction cup, and I always used an umbrella. I live down, if you guys are not familiar with my location, I'm in San Diego, California, and we get a lot of sunny days, and you could probably tell I still get a lot of sun,
You're not far from Mike Toledo, correct?
No, we're about 15 minutes away, distance, house to house. Yeah, his shop's about 20 minutes. Yeah, he's in the same neighborhood as most of my wholesale.
Okay.
Yeah, his shop's in Escondido, and I have a majority of those wholesale accounts out there. Mike doesn't do a lot of wholesale. A lot of it's training and a lot of it's retail. He does have Big John that does some other accounts in San Diego, but nothing local. But so yeah, back to what I was saying. The umbrella was a tool that I used almost every day, and I always Mickey Mouse something. I would take an umbrella, chop the handle off, drill a hole in the bottom of it between some sort of sheet metal. Just it wasn't anything that was fancy. It worked. It didn't work great, but it worked. It was better than having nothing. And so what really I always knew, I was like, what, I always never had enough time to really put motivation into making the tool. I went to tie it back into what I said earlier, I went to the first mega media event that PDR College, Keith and Shane threw together in 2015. I went to that. That was the very first time I went to Mobile Tech Expo. Never been there before. So I went to that seminar. And at that time, I saw Mobile Tech Shade. And I looked at that and I'm like, wow, that's a tool that, he's selling and it's making money. So I looked at it and I was like, I can make something, I think that's a lot more efficient, something that, is stronger, something that's a little bit more versatile, has a little bit more options. So that's when it kicked off, because I've always wanted to make this tool. I just didn't ever spend the time to do it. Until I saw that, I'm like, he's selling those that way. I know I can make a better tool. And that's how the industry goes. You see something, you're like, hey, I think I can.
You're gonna make an adjustment here. You're gonna make an adjustment there.
Yeah. So essentially, yeah, that's what put a fire. I'm like, you know what? I'd make something I believe that's going to be a better tool. And so it took about a year, maybe a little bit more. I think it was a year and a half of prototyping, trying all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
And what I came up with, I'll take this apart so you guys, anyone watching, this here is, hardware that I felt that would be with the handles here, so I could lock this down and really keep a tight, hold. I could loosen it, you could adjust. But the key thing here, Ryan, I could take this tool and use it for anything. You want to hook it up to a flashlight. I want to hook it up to a fan.
It's like a ram mount clamp, correct?
Exactly what it is. I get it from ram mount. And so it's an adjustable little claw, and it allows you to stick any type of umbrella. So that's a huge factor right there. There's only one other company that I know that has that option. I think they're out in Europe, where you can stick any umbrella you want in there. It'll fit. It's like a tube that you stick it in. Not exactly what you guys are thinking of, that golf tube. This is a little bit different, but the guy machines it. It's nice looking. So this right here, you could use any type of umbrella. So that's a huge factor. The second thing is the way I designed the tool. This thing, you could tighten this thing down nice and tight, and this is never going to move. So today I did a video. I know you saw it, but I
with
did
the jack. This guy, I was watching his live show. He had a car jack on there, suction cup to the window. I was like, oh man, this could go really bad.
Yeah, I like doing live. So that floor jack's not light. That's a heavy duty floor jack. It's about 35 pounds. So I stuck the floor jack on there, and it holds it, and that's the thing about this. That's what I was really trying to focus on. You don't need to have any kind of way of tying this thing down. This thing is not going to move. So that's another huge factor.
And one thing I have to put in here about the industry is I like how, you have like the dead center, you have the Kiko tabs, and then you have the Black Plague tabs, and everybody has their own little spin-off that works. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how different guys are coming up with some really good ideas to help better the tools throughout the industry. It's really, really interesting how they are adding things to different items. Perfect example, the John Hiley handle. Yep. You know what I mean? Just little things that are helping us be more efficient and do a better repair.
I can't agree with you more. I mean, we're really in the best time right now in PDR. At least in my small time, I've been doing it 15 years. This is like hands down. I mean, this is like unbelievable. The value of education that's out there now. You get certified as IMI, you get, Hale certified. I mean, there is a lot of education out there right now. There's a seminar popping up. It seems like every other month there's some sort of a seminar you could go to.
I feel bad for Mike Toledo because, he's the world traveler now.
Right? He's in Japan one week, the next week up in Canada.
So get back to that mount. Let's keep getting into that stuff.
Last big thing about this mount that most mounts don't have is that this right here will allow you to adjust. So it's more visual. Put it in an angle. This handle here will allow you to spin it. So when you have this attached to the vehicle, if you're working on something for any length of time, the sun will move, and then most of the time what you have to do is unattach the suction cup, turn it, and reattach it. Okay, great, but I'm here to be efficient. So this here I could swivel it, lock it back down.
Okay.
So that's what's really nice about that tool. It's the grip. And the cool thing about it, like I said, I do sell nice umbrellas. I have these custom-made umbrellas, but you're like, I'm on a budget. I could just buy an umbrella at Costco. I can buy an umbrella at Home Depot. I could buy whatever I want. Boom, put it in there. You don't have to buy my umbrella. That's another huge factor, because if you do damage your umbrella, because they're disposable. I mean, they wear like brakes and tires on a car. They're eventually gonna, it's gonna break down at some point. Buy another umbrella from me, or you could just go and get your own. So that's a huge benefit too to a tool like this.
That's definitely, because sometimes things do happen with umbrellas, and if you're in the middle of your day and it's 100 degrees out there, you'll be jammed up.
Oh yeah.
So that is a good idea.
Yeah. So you damage it, run it over. For me, I should have brought that in with me. But a little trick I use, and hopefully this comes across clear. But I have these little at your wholesale accounts, the service drive has those plastics they put in the customer cars. So when the customer gets out, they put plastic in on the driver's seat. So when the mechanics get in, they don't, hopefully don't get grease on the customer's car. So those rolls that come, that plastic comes in, when they're, all done, they're empty. They have a big tube. It's a big, paper towel tube, big one. Well, what I do, I take those and I'll actually put in the back of my truck. And if you have a van, and so what I do, I use it as a sleeve. I'll take my umbrella and just put it in there. It's a cone. It just completely covers the fabric.
I use a 3-inch piece of PVC. Same idea.
Yep, exactly. So what that does is that when you stick your umbrella in the back of your truck and you pull it out, it doesn't snag on any tools or any kind of sharp edges.
Just make sure it's dry. Don't put it in there wet because it will get moldy.
I haven't done that. I try to keep my back of my truck dry.
No, I'm just saying if it's raining, you have the umbrella up, it's wet, you close it, you strap it up, you stick it in the tube, and you come back on Monday, that thing's going to be fuzzy and green.
That's a good point. So that's a little trick that I do, but that's a huge benefit. So if you have an umbrella that you damage it, you're not having to go and order an umbrella, and that's going to take a few days to a week, and then you got to go through the process to order it. No, you just go down to your hardware store, get another umbrella. You're back, up and running. So that was a great tool that I designed, and then the following year, I designed a tool that definitely was another problem. Yep, you got it. The strong arm.
I'm going to tell you guys that are watching this, if you don't have this tool, I got a little sneak jab in there with Dave Stream's no roll, but this thing, I've had this at least a year. Suction cup's still in great shape. You can see it's actually a little dirty from today, but this thing is awesome. It's funny because when I started this show, guys were talking about tools and asking questions, and I kept saying, if you had to buy a tool for the year, this was my tool for the year. And Matt's an avid, he watches every week. So this thing, I used to use the Eliminate arm, and it always seemed like it was too short. I wanted something to get farther out and around, be a little more adjustable. This thing's awesome. This thing it's an awesome tool, dude. I mean, it really is. It is a awesome tool. You are going to get your money's worth out of it 100%. I mean, it folded up, put it in my truck, and I use it all the time. I use it probably 3 days out of the week.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I use it almost every day. Yeah. What's really nice about that is that I also use it as a tech that works outdoors, and I'm always on the road to different locations. I do sell these. You can find these on Amazon, or you can find them. And what I'm talking about, this is a flameless torch, and it runs on propane. When I first got one of these, I only used it when there was times where there's no outlet. Then I started realizing how well it worked. I'm like, I'm not ever pulling my extension cord out again. I don't care if there's an outlet 10 feet from me. Here, for me, has been dynamite, because there'll be times where you go to someone's business, like a commercial business, and you're out in the parking lot. There's no power out there, Sometimes there is. You got to park the car way over there. There's some sort of an outlet over there, but this saves me a lot of time. So if you technicians out there are not sure about the propane heat gun, Amazon, I think James Lee sells them. I sell them. These things are awesome. I always keep it attached to my strong arm, and it stays like that. Stick in the back of my truck when I'm done with it. And like you said, what's really nice about the strong arm is that it's compact too. It'll
fold up.
Yeah, so it has a small footprint. With this tool, what happened here? I was designing a tray. That was my goal.
That's right. We were talking about this at MTE this year. You were like, I'm thinking about a glue tray, and I'm like, oh, okay, now we're talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a product of that. This is just an accident. Yeah.
So what happened with the glue tray?
I've been prototyping one. Yeah, I got a lot better. I've been using it. I showed it a few times online, but I'm trying not to, because I'm still not close to setting it up to production yet. It works great. But
so one feature that I didn't find out until I was using this thing for about, 4 or 5 months, and it blows my mind that I didn't figure it out till then. So one thing, look at me dropping stuff here, is these tubes slide.
Yeah.
So that's how adjustable this thing is, to where you can physically slide this tube down and get exactly where you want it to be. And I didn't even realize that, like I said, for a couple months after I had it. But
Yeah, that's not, yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, that's really a convenient factor, because people do ask me. I have two different versions. I got a standard arm, which is a 24-inch strong arm, and then this is the XL, and this is 36 inches. People ask me, well, what's the difference? I go, well, they're basically the same. This one gives you more versatility, and they'll go, well, maybe it's too long, and I explain to them that it will slide.
yeah,
So it will go down to a standard arm too. So you're kind of getting two arms in one. Very versatile tool. So basically, I was designing this tray, and I came across this design, and started using it for a heat gun. And then I gave a few out as just to people to test them out. And the rest was history. There was a few little things that I did adjust the first time. This would be a huge thing, especially with the propane heat gun. When I first made this would slide out if you loosened it too much.
mm-hmm.
Now it's never going to come out. You got to take the whole thing apart for it to ever release out. This little mechanism would slide, not just churn, but it would come out. So that was one adjustment. I made a few different prototypes. This tool, honestly, the grip, this is the one I spent more time on designing those little, to make it really stout and strong. This one here, it took some time, but I put so much work into making that tray that I realized, this thing's good the way it is, and
It's
I
awesome.
use good things too. I know it's funny to say, but I do have like a portable little rechargeable fan. It's a small little fan, and it's cheap. It's $10 on Amazon. Has 3 different speeds. If I'm in someone's house in their garage and it's a hot summer day, I'm perfectly in the shade, but dude, I just need some air. I'll hook this up, and I'll attach my fan to this or this, and it just, boom, you put it right on you. You got nice air movement, and you're working on our project. That thing's fantastic for a fan. I've had technicians send me photos of them using it with their gimbals.
Yeah.
Like a DJI gimbal with their camera. They'll do their own videos and stuff with the dent repair. I had one gentleman show me using it for his dog. He had it in his office, and he had like a bone in it. He's attached it to his filing cabinet. I don't know.
Okay.
The dog. He had some weird thing. I get all kinds of different things.
Now you're building them all yourself?
Yep. Yeah. So for everyone that thinks I have some big company, no, it's me. So I come home and I work. Yeah, I go to work, and then I come home and I work.
And that's a true story, because we had this conversation with his wife at MTE this year. So, that's why I wanted everybody to know that you're out there putting things together,
Yeah, I'm not, highfalutin like, Keith or something. I have a huge warehouse. I'm not Kiko, or anything like that. No, I'm doing these one at a time. So each one of these I'm making by hand.
Now, are you building a few and then shipping them out, or are you building them to order?
Yeah, no. So I'll usually build up an inventory, but there'll be times where, I have to go in there. Like this weekend, I got some orders to fill for a few different companies. So I do, just so everyone knows. So I can throw out some shout outs. Dent Tool Warehouse out in Australia, they take big orders from me. So if you guys are overseas in Australia, New Zealand area, check them out. They carry my tools. Kiko is picked up my strong arms. Kiko's
That's cool. Is that a new deal, or is that
fairly new? A few months now. Yeah.
That's cool. Chris White's a super cool dude. So
yeah. So they carry my tools. Kiko, Ultra Dent Tools in California here. They carry my tools. And then also James Lee.
James. He's getting hammered on Facebook this week. I saw a guy. I feel bad because James Lee's customer service, man. That's one thing you guys need to realize, how lucky we are in our customer service with our small little tool businesses that we have. It's the best out there. And someone didn't get it. FedEx was kind of dragging their feet and get it to him, and he just hammered them with a review on Google or on his site, just saying how he wasn't happy with the delivery process. And James is like, I got the tool right out the same day you ordered it. You know what I mean? It's James
is a benchmark.
The same thing with me. Todd from from Carbon Tech. So the crossbar here, I'm a Carbon Tech guy. I also use the Endeavor tools rods. This crossbar I snapped in half.
Wow.
Literally in half. I was working on a new Ford F-Series truck, and it just went. I mean, it was gone. I've been using it for almost 2 years. So I sent a picture to him, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, what were you doing?" I said, it could be user error. But I just want to let you know, that this happens. He's like, well, we have some of the original ones that are breaking, but I'll send one out. And he ended up sending me 2 out for one for a backup, which was super cool. So, and I was just going to buy it. It wasn't even, hey, I want this for free because it broke. I got my $110 out of this tool 100%.
Wow.
So give a shout out to Todd at Carbon Tech. Great customer service this week. I mean, I talked to them. I sent them a message late in the afternoon, and it was in the mail the next morning, and I had it in a day or so from California. So great customer service. But let's get back to you. This shows about you.
That's my model. I look up to James, and I always follow his footsteps, I try to get the product out instantly, 2 days shipping. And then if there's a problem or anything like that, hey dude, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
I can't see a lot of those things breaking.
I over the years though, I have improved this product, made it stronger and stronger. I've changed the manufacturing of just certain parts of it, just designing it a little bit better. I didn't really have much problems, but dude, I don't want to sell something and if I buy a tool, I don't want it to break. Like say that Carbon Tech broke. The first week or 2 weeks of using it.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, this thing's garbage.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a bad taste in your mouth. So I wasn't having many problems, but I was just noticing small things I could improve on. So there's not a lot of things that break. What's my biggest issue? I had a gentleman a couple of weeks ago. I think I cut open the boxes, and he even said it. He's like, I think it looks like a razor blade. I put a little cut in one of the umbrellas. I think it's more the umbrellas themselves I have more issues with. This small stuff, people are like, I put a little razor cut in it when I was opening the box. But that's basically it. I don't have too many issues. It's probably once every 3 months.
Who makes the suction cup?
These are replicas. These are like what's really nice about these cups are really soft. They're different than your Woods cup. They're just a replica of the Woods cup.
Okay.
I get these, I'm getting killed right now, but I do buy like 1,000 of these cups at a time to get them down in price. So I get these made overseas.
Okay.
I'll just be transparent about it.
They work well. I mean, there's no.
I get a lot of feedback about how well they work.
It's got aluminum base to it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's got a different, one thing I did notice compared to the Woods is it's got the different filter that doesn't seem to fall out very easily.
Mm-hmm.
The Woods, I would always have that filter that would fall out. This one is not, like I said, this has been a year. This thing is, I've used a ton.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that point up. I always overlooked that. Typically, Ryan, when they make a tool with the suction cup on it being a 6-inch or even a 4.5-inch cup, they always have that hard vinyl, casing around the base here. It's a plastic, some sort of a hard, I don't know, the vinyl, I think, or hard plastic. These are aluminum,
Yeah.
This is that's another thing that, if I'm going to make it, I want to make it as strong as possible. So aluminum is a much stronger material than more plastic. So the suction cups themselves work so well that Steve Hoff over at Ultra, he'll buy a huge bulk of them from me. And I go, here's my supplier. And he's like, I don't want to deal with it. I'll just buy them from you. So he really enjoys these cups. A lot of his tools that he makes, if it has a blue little, plunger, most likely they're from me. He'll buy just suction cups from me too. So he gets, he's like, I keep getting a lot of feedback from people asking us, where'd you get these suction cups? They work so much better. And so, that's the story with that. I can't disagree with you. Those are really good suction cups. I've had numerous people tell me how well the suction cups work, over the Woods. So they're really nice. I'm happy with that.
So you've also got a product that we talked about actually this week that I was looking at his website, obviously doing a little research on Matt, and there was a product on there I didn't even know he had that is awesome. It is an awesome looking, I haven't used it yet. It is a awesome looking thing that I think will be useful with a light stand or a hail light or
Right.
anything. So he's go ahead and explain what it is there, Matt.
It's not much different than the strong arm. It just has, we substitute the suction cup base with another claw on it. So what that allows you to use it with is any kind of motorcycle vise. If you're in a retail, location where you have your own shop, you're probably not gonna, you're gonna have a light stand. So this will attach to your light stand very well. A lot of people have those pole stands that attach your James Lee, boards, and also different tools. So this is a great tool right here. Gives you all the same functionalities as a strong arm. It's very rigid, stiff. It locks in place. It's fully adjustable. Has all the same features as the actual, strong arm, but it just has a grip. So I can attach it to any kind of toolbox, anything that fits about 2 inches in diameter. This will hook up to it, and that way you don't have to even have this on your car. You can have it attached to a toolbox or anything like that. So this is called the claw to claw. I do sell a 24-inch and a 36-inch version, and you can find that on my site at getagripnow.com. I have all these tools on there. Speaking of which,
he's got a new website he just launched. We looked at it before the show, and it's a lot easier to read, a lot easier to get through. You did a really good job. You really did.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I put a lot of time into that. I was telling you before the show started, I went to bed last night. I think I told you I went to bed at 2 a.m. last night, just finishing it up. But it's been a long week. Yeah. The earliest I've gone to sleep was 1 a.m. That's the earliest I've gone to bed this week. So that website stuff, I wanted to have good content on there. My last site was really, really bad. It wasn't as straightforward to understand. There wasn't enough photos, and I like photos. There just wasn't, it wasn't set up right, So
I think you explain the tools better now in the new website. It seems a little more, the photos are better to where you can say, okay, if you really didn't know and you looked at the claw to claw, you'd be like, what am I going to use that for?
Yeah.
But your pictures are a little more understandable.
Right. That's funny you say that, Ryan. That's probably the only area of all those photos when it comes to like the tool, the claw to claw, because I don't have a retail shop.
Yeah.
And, I didn't have a lot of stock footage. I need to get more, but that's the one tool that I don't have the greatest photos.
Yeah.
Fitting the strength of that tool. That's funny you bring that tool up. Yeah. That's
now, I think that claw to claw for me would be great for holding a camera.
Yeah.
I really do. Just imagine the look from you working on a hail car. You have your hail light across. You hook it to the hail light with a small little camera. Just that view you're going to get. I think it's going to be a good addition.
Mm-hmm.
A good addition.
Yeah, what Daniel Grom, he's got one, and he uses it for all kinds of, hit it to the bench grinder.
Yeah, that dude is. I spent a lot of time with him at Anson, and some of the stuff that he thought of right off the cuff, like he already has some of the ideas in his head. He's the guy that has a tool and says, I think we can make this better. Just in a little feature. He's just that guy, and he's super passionate about tools.
Oh yeah.
He just came out with his new hammer from Carbon Tech. He just launched that this week. So
I don't know if I've seen that one. Yeah, no, I like Daniel's energy. He's got that innocence,
Oh yeah.
He's just wide open, like tool wise, He just you can see his wheels turning.
So you have a new product that you're getting ready to launch, don't you?
Yeah. So this here is a 6-inch grip, and this holds a lot more weight, like we talked about. This is what I was using this afternoon, holding that floor jack. And the reason why I went with a bigger cup. So your traditional cup that I've been selling, these are 4.5-inch cups. They're great. This is a 6-inch cup, and the reason why I went with the bigger cup, I am going to still sell 2 different versions of this. Because now this is complementary to an 80-inch umbrella. So I've been working hard on getting those manufactured. 80 inches is gigantic. And like I mentioned in my video earlier, if you guys didn't see it, your biggest jumbo umbrella you can buy at any kind of sporting goods store is 68 inches. That's the biggest standard umbrella you can buy for a golf umbrella. And so what I sell right now currently is a 72-inch umbrella, which is a substantial difference. 4 inches is quite a bit. So that being said, now I'm selling an 80-inch umbrella.
And 80 inches. That's massive.
It's a small hut. And having that bigger surface area, I wanted something a little bit stronger. I don't want wind. I had a technician that was using a 72-inch. It seems like it's Arizona where there's high winds. This gentleman worked in an area where it was normal for it to be windy. So I prototyped. I sent him one of these out, the 6-inch cup with it, and he's like, fantastic. He's like, dude, it's killer. He's like, it's perfect. So I'm now carrying, as of today, I am selling an 80-inch umbrella with a 6-inch suction cup. And the 80-inch umbrella, it's called the Big Top. That's the name for the.
That's a good name. That's a good name.
Big Top. And I'm still carrying the 72-inch umbrella with a 4.5-inch suction cup. So I will carry both of them for technicians. And honestly, I'm not just saying this. I prototyped this particular setup for about 3 months, and I thought, before I even prototyped it, 6-inch cup's going to be a lot bigger. I'm thinking about all the times where I'm working on an area where I'm like, I don't know, that's too big of an area to find a spot to put this. I'll just be, again, transparent. There's only been one time out of all the repairs I've done in the last 3 months where I'm like, I can't find a spot. And I ended up sticking to the bumper. It was a Ram truck.
Okay.
Truck fender area. And I was like, dude, this thing. And I was like, I just stick it right to the bumper. It was a, steel bumper. But that's the only time where I had any difficulty. I was actually surprised because I was
waiting for you to say you were working on a Corvette and you couldn't find a place to suction cup the suction cup.
Yeah, right. Working on a Saturn. So again, you can find these tools on my new site. You guys check it out. These tools are on there right now. And again,
what's the site? So what do we have? Getagripnow.com.
That's it. Get a grip now.
So what is the future for Get a Grip? Do you have some other ideas? I remember when we sat down, we spent quite a bit of time at MTE, and you got some ideas in the back of your head. You have some other things coming out, like this glue tray that we're still waiting on. Mm-hmm. What's the future?
Well, I'll tell you, that glue tray, timing wise, I'm aiming for Florida, because I will be doing the Las Vegas show here in September, but I'm not prepared for that for September. So I'm aiming for that tray to debut January of 2020.
Are you going to MTE? Do you have a booth at MTE Vegas?
Yeah, I do. It's going to be right there in the Dental Olympics. I got a little end cap spot, so I got a great location. Unfortunately, I have a double booth. Unfortunately, Keith Cosentino hit me up, and he strong-armed me into giving half of it up.
It's not a bad person to give half a booth up to,
He called me up and he's like, dude, I don't know how you got this booth, but man, I wasn't really planning on it. Wasn't sure about the show. And now I'm going to go, but now there's no good spots, So I was like, you know what, dude, I have no problem sharing. I'd be honored to share my booth with you,
What is your thoughts on the show? Let's get that out there.
I really think the show's going to go good. I'm going to be honest. And I think that most people that are negative about it are hail guys, which I totally understand. That's probably not the best time for them to leave where they're at and leave work and go to Vegas in September. Also, they have most of them are traveling from the East Coast. So I understand all that. But for the West Coast people, I think this show's going to be fantastic. I really think once that show's done, we're going to review it and look back and realize how many mobile technicians are on the West Coast. I think that show's going to be a highly mobile tech, driven show. There's going to be mostly technicians that are, just door dingers and not so much hail guys. I'm excited for the show. I really hope, if you guys are on the fence about going, I really hope you guys make the plans to go. The rooms are cheap.
They are super cheap. I was looking at it last week, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe it is Vegas. The only scary thing with Vegas is two things: dent guys and Vegas. That's scary.
Yeah, absolutely. And that worries me as a tool manufacturer too. I don't want people completely blowing their whole, trip on, roulette or something like that, or just getting so wasted that they don't even make it to the show.
Or they could win a ton and buy a bunch of strong arms. So,
right.
You never know. You got to be the devil's advocate.
I have good energy for that one. I have a positive outlook for it, but no one knows. Let's see.
So what's obviously they have their education day, which is Thursday, I think. And then the show's what, Friday, Saturday?
Yep. Friday, Saturday. It's pretty much the same outline. They are doing a different competition this year for Vegas. It's not called the Dent Olympics. It's some kind of competition. It's a little bit different. Not sure exactly the details on it, but it should be fun, something different. One thing I would like, if anyone's listening, Sheldon over at Mobile Tech Expo, I would love you guys to advertise more. Everybody in my neighborhood, my local area, Ryan, I don't care if you're a car detailer, if you're a touch-up guy, a painter, a wheel repair, interior repair, whatever you are, dent technician, I tell everybody, and majority of them, 80% of the people I talk to don't even know, oh, there's a show in Vegas this year?
There's no information. Like Daniel Grime and I were talking about it when we were at Anson. We're like, there's just no information out. Like
they should be. Dude,
you need to be pumping it.
We're such a small boutique industry, PDR. I don't know. For me, I just look at it like they could put some money and advertise on social media, and you could sniper target us. I mean, if you're on social media, you're going to see their ad.
I did just get a flyer in the mail.
Yeah.
A little postcard in the mail, but it was very vague. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Other than that, I really hope. Yeah, I'm excited for that show. Real excited.
I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Mike Toledo. Not to cut you off. We talked about it a few times, and he's like, Matt, this show, the networking, and the most important thing about Mobile Tech Expo, this is networking. That's more important than anything. And this layout, Mike is telling me, he's like, dude, this is going to be the best networking show we've ever had. The way it's set up at this, host hotel with the venue under the same roof with the, he's like, dude, this is going to be a killer show. So yeah, if anyone's listening and you're kind of thinking about, if I should go or not, if you can make it, go. It's going to be a good show. I think you're going to regret it. You'll
see the pictures on Facebook.
I should have gone.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
we've all been there.
Make it.
So we do have a giveaway this week, guys. Matt was generous enough to donate some items for the giveaway for you guys, and I want to go over how you can win that. But I want Matt to explain what he's giving away here, and then I'll tell you how we can see if you guys can get lucky. So what do you got? What do you got coming?
All right. So for somebody, I'm going to be giving away the 6-inch new grip with the 80-inch umbrella. So that'll be a prize for someone to win. That'll be one tool there. And the other one's going to be, the tool that you love so much, the Strong Arm XL.
Yeah, so, buddy.
I think combined we're in the ballpark about $600 there.
Yeah.
So, and ship it out to you for free. So yeah, so one of them's the grip with the umbrella, the new setup, and then the other one's your Strong Arm to hold your heat gun.
Man, that thing's awesome. I'm telling you, that thing is awesome. It is awesome. So how you're going to win this stuff this week, we are going to start it after this show. I usually do comment as much as you can on the YouTube page. We're switching it up this week. So what we're going to do is I need you to go to Get a Grip's Instagram page, like and comment Dent Digest on there. Then you have to go to my Instagram page, like and comment on the Dent Digest post, Dent Digest. Then go to the YouTube page that you're watching right now and comment Dent Digest. Then on Tuesday, I will pick a winner. So you have to do all three things. So go to Get a Grip, the RPS Dent Specialist page, go to the Dent Digest icon that's on there, comment and like, and then go to the YouTube page and comment Dent Digest. And Tuesday, we will go live on Facebook and announce the winner. And then Matt will get this thing right out. So we're switching it up a little bit. I'm going to keep switching it up, trying some new stuff and try to spread the wealth over here with everybody that's watching. You know, poor Q Dent Repair in here. He's been trying to win a prize since day one. And, I mean, this guy's put time in, and still same thing as AK Keith. He'll comment every hour on an hour and still can't win. So, you know, we're trying to switch it up, guys, do something a little different. You know, and I think you guys after the show, go to the Get a Grip Now website and check it out. I'm telling you right now, the quality on just like this product right here. This thing's awesome. I can't even talk about it anymore. I keep saying it. He's not paying me. It's just an awesome product. I told him that every time we talk. I'm like, dude, that strong arm is awesome. I'm done rambling about the strong arm. But I really appreciate you coming on, you know, giving us a little history.
Oh, anytime. I appreciate you having me on. Just want to make one clarification. It's Get a Grip Now on Instagram.
Okay. Get a Grip Now. So you got to go to Get a Grip Now, RPS, and then RPS's YouTube page and comment. Glad you caught that.
You guys do technicians out there a lot of time, make your life a lot more efficient, you know? Yeah.
And then we'll go live on Tuesday, give you guys some time to get them all in there, and then some people that aren't watching this right now and get in there and comment and win. I'll put it on all the forums here later on how to win. And, you know, like I said, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you coming on, giving us your story. Go to getagripnow.com and check out his stuff. And you usually do a bunch of sales throughout the year, don't you usually?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So right now, I am running a sale. So if you don't win, you know, one of these tools, if you go and on checkout, you type in summer 2019 with the space or no space on checkout, there'll be a little promo code box, or type in Dent Digest and you'll get 20% off on the tools. So on checkout, you go to Dent Digest, and that could be with a space or no space, or summer 2019.
Perfect. Look at that.
And honestly, Ryan, like I said, I put a lot of work into this Shopify site. I haven't quite figured out how the shipping process is working perfectly yet. So right now the shipping's ridiculous. So if you go on there and you want to order something from the East Coast, New York, Maine, I think the umbrella box comes in a 60-inch 5x5. That normally be about $30 to ship. Right now I think it's like $8. So take advantage of my site right now. You know,
and that is just for the U.S. So we're only shipping in the U.S. I wanted to make that clear. I had somebody reach out on the last giveaway, and that's for the U.S. only. So sorry for you guys. If you are overseas, if not, you can always, you know, purchase it through the website, and I'm sure Matt will ship it over to the UK or wherever you guys are from. Mm-hmm. But I really appreciate you guys watching for another week of the Dent Digest. And remember, guys, keep it real. Have a good one. Make sure you comment and go to getagripnow.com. I will see you guys on Tuesday.
Awesome. Thank you.